9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Voice of Stockton. For more information on The Voice of Stockton, go to thevoiceofstockton.org.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS The Voice of Stockton or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Today's guest is Joe Bryson from Bryson Heating and Air. Today we're going to be talking about what you should be doing for your fall tune-ups and how to get everything going for winter.
I got music going on.
We have music going on.
Sorry.
Technical difficulties, everybody. All right, that's better.
Perfect. Now I can hear.
All right. Let's get this show on the road. So again, my guest today is Joey Bryson from Bryson Heating and Air. I guess it's Joe. I've known you so long. It started out as Joey. And as we grown up together, it's like tell us a little bit about Bryson Heating and Air. I know you've been a pillar of the community for many years. So tell us a little history of Bryson Heating and Air.
Well, I'm 3 generations strong. My grandfather started. Then my dad got into it when he was a young man out of the military. And then he decided to go out on his own and start his own business. And then a few years, I got into it with him when I was a little guy. He tagged along with him, and
he made you, huh?
Yeah,
that's what parents do. Like, hey, I need you to crawl in the attic for me.
Yeah, well, it started off with garbage cans and painting, and whatever you could do to keep me busy. And then I started getting into the field and insulating and being a part of it, and I've been a part of it ever since. It hasn't stopped. It's been probably 45 plus years since I've been doing it with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's a good time, good life. Stockton's a good place.
I love Stockton. It's my home.
Yeah.
We need to.
Me too.
Stockton needs a little tune-up.
Yeah, we need some help. Definitely need some help. I went to San Diego for a little bit, and I didn't think I'd come back, but home called me back, and I came back and stayed in the business, and ended up taking over. So,
cool.
Been here ever since, and happy to be here.
So, what could you tell when somebody's? Let's talk about energy rating. I know that's a big question. When as a realtor, my clients ask me, what's the energy rating? Is there a big difference between the SEERs, like 14 SEER, 16 SEER?
Oh yeah, the SEER rating is your energy efficiency rating of the unit, and the higher the SEER rating, the more energy efficient the unit is. PG&E has rebates out. If you look on the PG&E line, it'll tell you all the ones that they are pushing right now to get rebates. And then when you buy a home, look at how old the system is, and if it's old, I would definitely think about putting a new one in, because it does help your energy bill, cut your bill in half.
Cut your bill in half?
Yeah, the units are so much more energy efficient and heat and cool better, and they come in, they check the duct work, they duct test, they just make sure you're not having any leaks, heating and cooling the attic and underneath the house, and making sure all that air conditioned air is coming into your home, and taking care of your family.
Space or the attic.
Right, you ain't paying for it to go outside or in the attic or take care of the mice up in the
right.
Yeah.
If they're having a party in the air conditioned attic space.
Yeah, so
that's good to know, because I never put it together, like you could actually cut your bill in half.
Oh yeah, you could.
What's a unit cost?
It depends on what size it is. I mean, if you have, say, you're a 1,200 square foot home, you could probably get. Depends on what kind of unit it is too. If it's a split system, you could probably be in the 85, 95 area. If it's a pack unit, you're probably a little cheaper. On the roof, you have to use a crane, and in other ways, you have to connect the system up. The split system is usually in the garage, or the air conditioner's on the house or up on the roof. But if it's on the roof, you can usually hijack it up there manually, 2 guys, 3 guys. But the split system is probably a little more. It's more energy efficient too. That's probably why it's a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what about the ductless systems? What do you know about those?
The ductless systems are, they're good for offices, and if you have a home that's a flat top and you don't want exposed ducts, then it's a new system that's come out, and I like them. You can get them to where you can get an air handler in each room, and they're pretty convenient. They look nice. They don't look too bad. They heat and cool the room pretty well. It's more of a heat pump system, so it's electric. It's not gas electric. It's all electric.
So what do you mean by gas electric?
Well, like your furnace is a gas furnace, and you have gas running to it, and when your burners come on, you're burning gas. On these wall systems, they are heat pumps, so it's all electric.
I gotcha.
The ductless systems.
And then the benefit of that, you don't have to heat and cool the whole house. You just heat and cool the rooms that you're in.
Right, but you can zone too. If you have a system that like a regular system in your home, so you have a big home, you can zone your rooms. You can zone when you walk into a certain room. You can turn that thermostat on, and it'll just heat and cool that room for you.
Wow, that's great. Because my last guest, he did custom home theater, and he also talked about home automation. So you're saying you could heat and cool through your HVAC system different rooms that you want?
Sure. Yeah. You can zone them. You can zone, if you're in your living room a lot, you can shut off one side of the house and heat and cool the living room and the kitchen area at the same time, and it'll exhaust the air, into more. It'll more concentrate the air into what you want.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess you've probably seen the evolution of heating and air systems.
Yeah, it's getting pretty technical. The advancements are. I have to go to school constantly still. They say that the older you get, the easier it gets. It's getting harder, man. This stuff is really technical.
A lot of electronics, huh?
Oh, it's crazy. The electronics are taking over. But if you start messing with it a little bit at a time, you start getting used to it, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So do you do, what are those Nest? Do you set up the Nest systems?
Yeah, I've done a few of those. Those are cool. They're you can do it from your phone, and I'm more old fashioned when I have mine set up to go on and stay on, and just stays at a certain temperature. A lot of people, like when they get off work, they'll hit their Nest and it'll come on right before they get home. But on a hot day, man, that's tough to, on a hot day, I like to keep my house at a certain temperature, and my house stays beautiful all day. Right? So, like my grandma.
Except when you come home from vacation, you've been gone for a week, it's 92 in your house.
Yeah, so
that's where the benefit of having that Nest system comes
you're
in.
exactly right. You're exactly right.
It's crazy, the home automation. So one of my previous guests, he does duct cleaning. And he was talking about some of the crazy things he's seen out in the field. Do you have any crazy stories for
Oh, yeah. I do duct cleaning also. It's just it's not something that we specialize in. I've seen, you see really old units. That's one of the things that we always see. People are amazed that when I say, "Where's your filter at?" and I don't have a filter. And we go to their filter, and I've been here for 5 years. I didn't know how to filter, and the filter is just completely plugged. And they're, "Oh my God, I have air now." And that's one of the crazy things that I've seen. I've found, like we were changing ductwork out, I found report cards from kids not hide them from their moms. I've had them, you name it. They hide things.
Good morning, Valerie.
You have ducts on the ground, so they hide stuff in the. And I've seen money. I've seen.
Any big money or just change?
No, not just $100, $50, a roll of money, and I didn't count. I just say, "Hey, you got money down here." I told the customer. I've seen a little boy. He'd get up. He didn't want to go potty, so he'd go potty in the.
Oh my God.
It was crazy. Some of the crazy things that I've seen. A lot of animals, a lot of dead animals. Lady lost her cat. It was down in the duck.
Oh my gosh.
We had to go down and get it.
Live still, or?
Yeah, it was alive. She lost it, and she said she could hear it. And then we went underneath, and we saw where it went in, and we tore it apart and got him out.
Wow.
We've dead animals, dead rats. The duck cleaning is very good. It does help because they clean everything. They clean, they take care of the air handler in the furnace. They clean the squirrel cage. They go through your system. They clean that really well. Clean all the ductwork.
There's a squirrel cage in there? Is that what makes it run?
Yeah, that's what's got the fins on it that's bringing the air into the house.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to keep your filter clean, because if you don't keep your filter clean, it goes through, it plugs up your coil, and it goes to that squirrel cage. And that squirrel cage has fins on it, and if the fins get flattened out, it doesn't move the air properly, and then you lose the efficiency of your unit, and then your energy bill goes sky high.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's little things, little quirks, little things that people don't realize. Filter's huge, especially if you have allergies or, breathing problems, or just like to keep your house clean. If you don't clean your filter, that air goes through that filter and everything's dirty. Your doors are dirty, the vents are dirty, the tables are dirty.
You can probably tell when you walk in the house, like, this person's got a dirty filter on.
You can smell it right away. Yeah, it's crazy.
You're making me have to think about
when
when did I change my last?
I change it every month just for GP. It's
really?
just because it's always running, and I like to keep it clean.
Okay. Well, I
plus,
usually
if you have
change mine,
animals,
every season, like 4 times a year.
If you have animals, I recommend it highly too. Yeah, a lot of people, cats. I do it every month.
What kind of filter? Because you can go to Home Depot and you can see the $2 filters or the $12 or $20 filters.
I just took a class at PG&E this last week, and I've always put a HEPA filter. And it's funny. This is the worst filter that you can put in and that's the high dollar one. That's the $12, $15 one. They want you to put the cheapest filter in. I was like fighting it the whole time. I've been in this business a long time.
Right.
And I've been pushed these filters that are really dense, to catch the air. But we were doing air testing, and we're trying to get the static pressure and the airflow and just everything coming out of the vents. And they put these high dollars. We're watching on a screen,
and they're showing you the levels of the airflow.
Right, the airflow, static, everything. And they're trying to get a smaller. If the house calls for a 4-ton, they'd put a 3-ton in. If they zoned it right, or ductwork, run the right ductwork, you could get it to that proper size. And they were putting in the cheapest possible filter. And just go down and get them. You can get them at Home Depot, or call me and I'll get them for you. Just change it every month. It's huge. He said you want to be able to read a paper through it, which I thought was pretty funny.
Really?
Yeah.
But so does it filter as good, or it just pushes more air?
It both. It does filter good, but it's the airflow that they're after. As long as you stay on top of it and you clean it, that's what matters. This guy he's been doing this a long time, and him and I had a conversation afterwards, and I just couldn't believe.
I don't believe you. Yeah, the numbers are right there.
Yeah, I do a lot of work for allergists, and the allergists, they got these heavy duty filters in, and their houses stay nice. But when you start looking at the airflow of the system and how it's heating and cooling and how long it takes to heat and cool, then you start realizing
there's diminishing returns. At some
point.
You're
in the air. All your supplies, your returns, everything's getting. Everything is not working properly like it should.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked.
So if somebody has allergies, they would probably be better off putting in the cheap filter and running a independent filter.
Well, you have other filtration systems too. You have electronic you can put in. You have
UV.
Yeah, you have UV lights. There's certain things that you can do. Like the allergist that I work with, he changes his every week, and then he has indoor fans on his ductwork, so your air is always moving. He's very, being an allergist, you're more concerned,
Does he go out in a suit, like a bubble suit, like a space suit?
That's what I was thinking when I walked into the office. He's very clean freak. But when you're an allergist and you see it every day, it's it's like a skin doctor. They tell you to stay out of the sun.
Right.
So it's kind of the same thing.
Man, you're making me have to rethink my whole filter strategy.
Yeah, some of the things that we've got out of a filter and put it underneath the microscope is pretty amazing. The creatures, some of the creatures are. You're going, oh my goodness! They found a dust mite. They found a flea, and the dust mite was on the flea, And you know, you never thought a flea could have a creature crawling on it, but
Wow.
yeah, that's what's crawling through your ductwork. That's why it's so important to keep them clean and changed out. And
So what about UV lights? What do those do?
UV light is, you know, like same thing as like a surgeon. When they go in and they're working on you, they have UV lights on you to take care of the antibacterial germs that are, you know, in that area. That UV light kills that.
Oh, wow.
So the air is running through that UV light. It's killing all the antibacterial. So yeah, it's we you know, we sold those for a long time, but they started having problems with them. But you can still get them. I can still get them, and
So it sterilizes the air. is
that's
what you're
exact. Yeah, it's the antibacterial organisms is what they're going after.
Because I think I have one on my system, but I've never changed the bulb.
You might want to check it out. Then turn off the light, you'll be able to see it.
Maybe I should have you come over and just tune up my system. For
Yeah,
me.
matter of fact, we are having a tune-up special going on. It's $49. Call us.
And what do they get for that $49?
We go in and we check the furnace, we check the burners, we check the electrical, we clean the burners, we check the fan, make sure the fan's clean, pull the filter, you know, thermostat's running properly.
So when you say check the burner, you're making sure it's getting enough oxygen to burn the gas properly.
Right, you're looking at the burning, the flow of the burners, making sure nothing's clogged up, making sure nothing got in there. When it gets warm, all the animals and bugs and everything, they like to go towards the furnace and build nests, and you find you get all kinds of critters in there, and they during the off season they find a spot, and then when that burner comes on, it's it causes some issues sometimes, and they call us in and we check it and clean it and go through
Randy Burns says hello. He said you did some work on his spot.
Hey Burnsy. That's one of my golfer buddy. That's Wolfpack right there.
The golfer buddy.
Yeah.
Take him out fishing.
Yeah, I took him out a couple of times. We went striper fishing a couple of times. We had some fun. He's a fun guy. I love Randy Burns.
That was cool. So, what else could you when somebody's shopping for a system? I know California has regulations like a minimum energy rating.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between the minimum and if spending a little bit more to get something more efficient?
Well, 14 SEER is the basic now.
Really? I thought it was 16.
No, 14 SEER is the basic. 16, you're getting 16 SEER. You're starting to get into the higher SEER ratings. PG&E has some programs. They're pushing the 16 SEER, 17 SEER. They're trying to get people interested in getting high efficiency. It's just you start getting up there, the price goes up, $12,000, $13,000, $14,000. Depends on the size of your home.
Right.
The bigger the unit, the more it costs.
As with anything. Right. I mean, to me, it's like you kind of want to fall in the middle of the road somewhere. You want to be efficient, but you don't want to be so efficient because you're never going to recapture that cost at some point. There's that diminishing return. Spending $12,000 versus $8,000
takes a long time to get that money back. So
and I've seen systems. I've gone into homes, selling homes, and people are like, "Oh, that system's about ready to break." I'm like, "That system's probably older than me."
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've seen some old systems, man.
And they're still cranking them out. I mean, they still work.
My pop used to. We used to collect all the data, the old plates, the front plates of the units, and some of them you get, they stopped making Gaffer Sattler. They stopped making old Frasers. They stopped making old Bryant. They make a Bryant now, but the one they made that was a heat, no burners, and it was just amazing to watch this thing underneath. It took us probably 2 days to get this thing out. It was like a huge tank underneath the house. It was all steel. And it'd been underneath there for 70 years. It was just amazing.
What do you mean no burners? Like
it's like a wall heater. It's just the burners come on. And you just get the heat off the heat exchanger, and it's just an old style, like a floor unit. But this thing was so huge, and he was amazed he was amazed it was still working.
That's funny. When we moved over from the east side up to by Dameron Hospital on Poplar Street. The unit was about 4 or 5 feet tall in the basement.
Yeah,
it was a lot of
basements.
An old oil burner. It used to burn oil. They converted it to gas, and that thing would blow like a hurricane.
Yeah.
It kick on, the heat was just in one spot, and it heated the whole house. And
I've seen a lot of those in Stockton. Usually they're up in the hills or Valley Springs or.
Yeah, it was wild. Like when the HVAC guy came over. It's before I knew you.
Hard to find. They're hard to find to work on oil burners.
Yeah,
it's a dying art.
He was like, it had been converted to gas, but he goes, it had a big metal door like what you see in a horror movie.
Yeah.
You know, the guy opened it up. He's like, I haven't seen one of these in probably 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to find old tech like that. Man.
Yeah,
we're
like,
dying off.
He was like, I hate to tear it apart and put a new one in. He's like, oh, it's like a museum piece.
Yeah, they're classic, man. Yeah.
And,
it's an antique.
It was. It was crazy.
I tell you what, though, once you pull that out and put a new one in, the efficiency rating will go up.
Oh, my dad was so happy. He's like, I got air conditioning. We had my dad we grew up on the east side. He had swamp coolers, so to be able to just turn on the air,
come on,
and not have to, worry about your cereal getting all soggy.
Yeah, if you got a swamp cooler, change those dang filters, man. That's so important. That's another thing. Those swamp coolers, change those. I
would imagine the bacteria
your water.
And stuff.
Oh, it's you should do it at least twice a year, because they're wet. So, and we had water coolers forever. I love the old water cooler.
They work good.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Until it gets too hot. Then
it gets a little humidity, gets a little hot.
Your cereal, it gets stale. That's what I hated. Like, dang, like we just opened the box. Like, have to put the cereal in the oven just to dry it out. Captain Crunch wasn't so crunchy anymore.
Got a little soggy.
My daddy, I miss that guy. But he was a crazy old fool. What other kind of tips and tricks? Like when somebody's shopping for a system, because not everybody's. I hope everybody calls you, but they may not call you. They may call
there's a lot of good companies out there.
What would somebody look for?
The one thing I think you should look for is, here in town you have a couple of distributors, and to me that's important because, I work with Slakey Brothers. I work with RSD.
Slakey's been around forever.
Yeah, I've been with Slakey's. I've watched people go through Slakey's, one after another, and I watch them retire. I'm going, man, I need to retire. Man. All these guys are retiring. They're younger than me retiring. But customer service to me is huge. When you call, I'm 24/7. So you call me 24/7. I'm usually there.
I know I called you for a ride the other day. You didn't answer.
You're so full of crap. You're full of crap. I was probably playing golf with Randy.
Right. Don't disturb the golf.
Yeah, right? But no, it's customer service is huge to me. When you're calling for parts, you're calling for warranty, you're calling just for advice. They're here in town. You can talk to them. They'll bring you parts. I've got a pretty good relationship with Slakey's, and they've I've run into where I need them to bring the equipment out to the job. They've done it for me. So customer service is huge to me. And then say something breaks down, your parts availability is huge. If you got to go to San Francisco or Richland, or you got to go out of state,
your heater's out in the middle of winter, it's like going to take 4 days for it to ship here.
Yeah, I had a buddy. I just got done doing my friend's heater, and they make a good unit. And what happened is when it fails, I got a call, and I got to call out of state to get the parts because there's no more distributors here in town. And that's just really hard to work with. People sometimes don't understand that, and they get impatient, and they get mad at you. And I can only do so much.
Well, they're either hot or cold.
Right. And it's usually, when you're cold, you can get warm, but when you're hot, a lot of people don't like jumping in the pool.
Yeah.
Me, I'll jump my butt in the pool and cool off. I'm okay. But a lot of people don't like the water, so they just don't know what to do. They freak out.
Right. I understand.
But yeah, customer service is huge to me when it comes to that.
It's nice to
try to stay local, yeah.
Right. Try to keep it local, everybody. Yeah. So, again, how do people get a hold of you? Like phone number, website?
The best way to get a hold of me, I have joebrysonservices.com. That's my website. And then my cell phone or my business phone is 209-298-3305. Let me say that again in case you didn't hear it. 209-298-3305. And I'm 24/7. I'm always available. I can talk to you. I can walk you through it. anything you need, you can call me and talk to me, and I'll come out and take a look at it, and I'll come out for free and just talk to you and give you free advice.
That's great.
Yeah, I've been here a long time. I don't try and shove anything down your throat. I just help you and give you my advice, and if you don't like it, you can go somewhere else. But usually, I can give you pretty close to the right advice.
It's nice when you get an honest opinion. Someone's
Yeah.
not trying to.
And I recommend you call other people just to get. But if you've been with me, you'll know. Hey, I ain't calling nobody else because,
Right.
like I said, I come out at all hours of the night. I'm out at 11 o'clock. I did a job at 11 o'clock the other night, and the lady looked at me like I was. I knocked on her door. She goes, "I cannot believe you're here." And I went, "Well, you needed air conditioning. Here I am."
Yep. So what kind of special are you running again today?
I got a $49 tune-up special for your heaters. We come out and we look at your heater and clean it and check it and make sure it's running good. And if there's a problem, we let you know, and we'll talk from there. And if we can, usually we can fix it right away for it. It's something simple. But we change the filter and check the motors and oil the motors, and just if it's an older unit, the motors need oiling, and we oil those up for you and just make sure that you're ready for the summer. The winter.
Good to know, because sometimes those heat exchangers are cracked. Which,
yeah, and that's something else. Make sure that you have your carbon monoxide detectors throughout your home. Just to be safe.
Hey, Dean.
You can get them. You can get them.
$20.
I didn't even see that. We got people talking to us right now.
Yeah.
I got my eyeglasses. I still can't see.
I got people saying hi.
Hopefully, I'm getting all good quotes here.
All your friends are talking smack on you.
Yeah.
So carbon monoxide detector.
Yeah, get a carbon monoxide detector. You say it's like a fire detector, and it'll just let you know if something's wrong, if the air quality is not right, and it'll get you out of the house quick. And then you call us, and we'll come out and we'll check the unit for you with those smoky in it. That's something we do too. We throw smoky in the system, and if you got smoke coming out and through your vents, then you got a problem. It's time to replace the unit. You got a cracked heat exchanger. Yeah.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Bryson, Heating and Air, calling for all your heating and air needs. Again, thank you everybody for joining in. For all your real estate questions, needs, yes you can with Lance can. Everybody have a great day, and I will see you next week. Talk to you soon.
That's pretty cool. Pretty short and quick, huh?
Yeah, I wish I would have my questions. We could have.
You did great, dude. For not knowing anything about heating and air, you did great.
Could have dove in a little deeper.
It's fine. That's